Hey folks, welcome to Bear Mountain. Well, today we are right around the 18th, 17th, 18th of June, and the pie cherries are now starting to get ripe. So I just kind of wanted to show you, this is an old tree that we're in the process of trying to bring back. And this is actually one of the years, this is our second year on the project of trying to bring the tree height down. As well as starting to weed out dead and broken branches and things of that nature. We still have a lot more to go on this. Because sometimes in the wintertime when you're pruning stuff, it's a little difficult to determine, all the dead from all the alive. So we'll have some more clean out work to do. But our process of what we're trying to do, this was supposedly a dwarf tree. It was on dwarfing rootstock. Being that it didn't seem to be as big a tree as you would normally see if it was a pie cherry tree that was left to its own devices and its own root system. And so what I've got here is quite a bit of cherries on one side of the tree, and then I've got some new growth on the other side of the tree. And let me just kind of show you what we're looking at. So this is part of the problem is when you look at, you can see there's all kinds of ripening cherries here, and guess what? They're all at about probably 10 to 12 feet above. And of course, all the best ones are at the very, very top. Now, what you can see in the tree is there's a fair amount of dead, for lack of a better term, kind of, well, it's just basically dead small branches, side branches and things. These were once upon a time branches that were below much larger branches that were taken out over a couple of years ago. So now I'm at a point where I need to kind of remove all these kinds of dead things and kind of get that cleaned up. But you can also kind of see that there's some new growth. See, like when you're looking right there, that's new growth coming up. And I got definitely a lot of it over on this side of the tree. So I'm trying to reinvigorate this. So I'll be taking out a bunch of these water shoots and things that when you look at, things like, let's see if I can find it right there, like that guy right there. And what you kind of begin to see when you zoom out is you can see that there is new growth and it is pretty vigorous. And one of the things that also seem to affect this tree really negatively is it definitely needs irrigation during the summertime. When we start getting into the July and August time frame. And, every once in a while you find a cherry, Anyway, it's time to start picking some of these guys. And I think what we're going to be doing here is probably using a ladder more than I really want to. And using a ladder on a hill is always kind of a tricky deal. But we hope to get a pretty good sized bowl full of these guys. Okay, so here's some of them that are, apologize, my hand's kind of we're probably kind of bright out here today, but you can kind of see that there's some that are definitely ready. We're looking for the cherry red color, not a super deep color, but the actual cherry itself needs to be kind of more along the lines of something like this guy here. If I can zoom out a bit, there we go. So we're looking for a cherry that's kind of along the lines of these guys. When I see this one right here, it's really nice, kind of a really bright, vibrant color, and I can feel it. And the cherry is not hard, so it's got a bit of a softness to it. And we're just gonna, pick these guys, stem and all, and fill up our bowl and see how many we can get out of this. Now, obviously, some at the very top are going to be for the birds and not for me because I don't have a ladder tall enough to get to that. But I still think, what we got here is a couple more years of bringing the height down of this tree. I need to bring it down probably another 8 to 10 feet and get more lower branches started out. Here's a great example of a lot of dead wood that I need to cut out. That I'll be cutting out. I mean, there's just dead branches like this one right here. So that's all part of a longer term rejuvenation process. This is an older tree. This tree is probably about 35 years old. So it just needs, I think it just needs some TLC, some water, and opening it up and getting the height of it back down and getting it, kind of reinvigorated. There's an outside view of the tree. You can kind of see the height of it. And look at all the cherries on it. I mean, this thing did really well this year. There's a lot more cherries on here than it's been in the past. But again, you know, what we need to do is we need to force that growth down. The cherries are actually on second year wood, so they don't tend to put anything out on the first year. Obviously, a new growth doesn't have it because the blooming is in the springtime. So it's on the second year. And so as we keep forcing the tree down, we're taking it down about a third at a time. And what we're trying to do is get it so most of the stuff is going to be within easy ladder reach of like an 8-foot ladder, as well as hopefully more of it, you know, closer to where I can reach it without using a ladder. So that's about it. It's just kind of a short video. This one just kind of showing you that, you know, you can over time bring a tree back down into, you know, a more productive state, get it into a level that you can deal with it as a, you know, as a person, not having to deal with a ladder that's 25 feet in the air to try to get, you know, a bowl full of pie cherries. And it also helps, I think, in terms of, you know, reinvigorating the tree, because when left to older wood, the older wood begins to die back. You get a lot of dead crossover branches and things of that nature. This tree has just kind of been growing wild on its own for quite a bit of time. And the cherries on it are actually pretty good. We had a few last year. We made it some nice crisp out of it. And the flavor for sour cherry is actually pretty good. So there's, the pits are easy to get out. And this is, I think this is a Montmorency is the variety of it. But again, it's supposed to be a dwarf tree, but the tree was still 25 feet in the air. I'd hate to see what a standard size pie cherry tree would look like. But anyway, I digress. I want to thank you guys for watching. And as always, stay safe out there. We'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.